Okay, welcome back to the political science class, session number 2 today. Okay, so the morning session, before session we discussed about the directive principles of the state policy. Directive principles of the state policy, it's a continuation of the same class. Okay, directive principles of the state policy. What are the things that are included in that? So you may get some idea of the vision of makers of our constitution by looking at some of the directive principles shown below. The government from time to time tried to give effect to some directive principles of state policy. Okay, the passed several zamindari abolition bills. So the government has the right to take some decisions for the well-being of the people in the country. Clear? For example, time to time almost all the government will take some welfare measures, some regulations of rules. Okay, clear, for the well-being of the people. Here the zamindari abolition bills, several zamindari abolition bills, right? Zamindar, who is a zamindar? It's a Hindi term, zameen, land. Zamindar, the owner of the land. Yes, Aishwarya, if you're speaking by unmuting your mic, I can listen that. So zamindari, okay. So zamindar means, what is zamindar? Okay, the land owners, landlords. Okay, so if you are observing in the North Indian villages or North Indian states, you are able to find a number of these kind of zamindars. Not today. Today also is there. That's a reality. The same time, in the time of independence or 20 to 30 years after independence, we are able to find a number of the zamindars in the North Indian states there. So the zamindars under their control hundreds of thousands of hectares of land. So they will not give this land to anyone else. They are controlling this land. Okay, they are cultivating, they are using other workers, other farmers, or using the beggar system or vetti system to cultivate in that land, and they are creating money benefit. Okay, so it is not good for the local people of that area. So the government made a land sealing on the zamindari abolition, the zamindari system abolished by the government. Okay, the central governments of India, number of different governments. Okay, so nationalization of the banks. Nationalization of the banks, okay, to help the people to get a credit for a nominal rate, nominal interest, credit for a nominal interest. The governments, they nationalized the banks. Clear? It's called to be nationalization of banks. Now we know that there are a number of banks are there under the control of the Reserve Bank of India, RBI. Okay, can you give some example for some banks under the control of the Reserve Bank of India? Come on fast. Some banks, name of some banks.
SIB.
SIB, South Indian Bank.
SBA.
SBA, State Bank of India.
ICICI Bank.
ICICI, it is not under the control of the RBI. It's a private institution. Then, IOB, Indian Overseas Bank. Is there a bank like this now? CB, Canara Bank, not chicken biryani, okay, Canara Bank, CB, okay, then, UB, Union Bank, it was, right, SBT, State Bank of Travancore, it was, clear, Bank of Baroda, BOB, Bank of Baroda,
Punjab,
then, DLB, Dhanalakshmi Bank. All these banks are nationalized by the central government. Okay, but most of these banks, many of these banks are now not existing. It is corporated with some other banks. So government policy is changed today. They are interlinking these banks to create a huge bank in our country, a single bank in our country, right? A central bank is there already, and they are trying to reduce the numbers of the banks there. So merging the banks. Now example, SBT is merged with SBI. State Bank of Travancore merged with the State Bank of India. State Bank of India. Just for an example, I told it. Okay. So nationalization of banks to provide loans for nominal interest. Next one, enacted numerous factory laws. Number of factory laws to protect the workers. Factory laws. What is the factory law? So before these factory laws, the owners of the factories will basically, we can say that they will excuse the workers. Clear or not? Okay, so secure the workers in the sense 16 hours of work. Okay, no lunch break, no lunch. No lunch break. Lunch will be there. Okay, they will eat. They want to eat in some particular situations there. So they will not get a lunch break. Okay, no breaks are there. Okay, so long working hours are there. Okay, so they should not sit. They cannot sit. Clear? Understand? So here what happened after the labor laws, the working hours that reduced it to 8 hours. So as per the international rules and regulations, the 24 hours now divided into 3 eights. Okay, 3 eights. What is that? 8 hours of work, 8 hours of recreation, 8 hours of rest. Clear? As was the international rule. Okay, the 24 divided by 3, that is 8. 8 threes are there. 8 threes are 24. Okay, so 8 hours of work, 8 hours of recreation, enjoyment, and 8 hours of rest, sleep. Okay, so you are enjoying more than that, right? 8 hours of sleep or 12 hours of sleep? What is that for you people? Ashish Benny, 12, right? So evening 6 to morning 6, or evening 7 to morning 8. Okay, that's it. So these kind of rules are made by the government to protect the people. Fixed minimum wages. Fixed minimum wages. Minimum wages means because of the competition in the labor market, sometimes the owners of the companies, the employers will make use the opportunity. They will pay less wages for the workers. So government fixed, different state governments fixed different wages, right? So for example, government fixed the minimum wages as 350. Okay, all the employer wanted to provide minimum 350 as wages to the worker, right? Not less than that. If it is less than that, it is against the rule. Against the rule, an offense, right? Clear or not? But in Kerala, we know that the regular wages is starting from 900, 1000, 1050 or something like that. Okay, right or not? It's almost better than the minimum wages prescribed by the government because shortage of labor. Already in economics we studied that, right? Lower the supply, higher the demand, right? The price will increase. Yes or no? That's it. Okay, so cottage and small industries were promoted and provisions for reservation for uplift of the scheduled caste. So cottage industries are promoted by the government for improving the self-sufficiency of rural women. Might you study about the self-help groups, SHGs, right? Self-help groups to promote the rural life of rural women. Clear? And small scale industries. Next one, number of programs for uplifting the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Number of programs are there for them, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and for their upliftment, a number of programs, including the reservation by the government. So it's all the part of the directive principles. So directive principles include the right to education, information of Panchayati Raj institutions all over the country. Sorry, not information, formation of Panchayati Raj institutions. Okay, from 1992. Okay, we can say that it is too important. The Panchayati Raj regulation. So everywhere we are able to find the local self-governments there. So these local self-governments will come forward with various plans and programs for the people in their locality. If you are observing, so I don't know, in your home you received something like that or not. Anyway, okay, so every house they will give a plan. Okay, that Panchayat plan. So we can apply for various programs to get chicken. I mean, not the chicken for eating there actually. Okay. Okay, poultry. Okay, understand. So poultry, animal husbandry. Okay, we can purchase buffalo or cow. Okay, right or not? So plants are there, or a sewing machine. I mean, the tailoring one. Like that, various things are there, various programs are there, or plans are there by the local government. So we can apply for that. Okay, if it is satisfactory circumstances are there, means they will allot it. Okay, clear or not? Understand? Some provisions are there. So ration card should be BPL, below poverty line. So most of your ration card is not BPL, I think, right? It is APL, above poverty line. So first criteria failed. Okay, APL card, they will not give any consideration. Okay, so BPL card and widows. Okay, unmarried mothers, okay, and the patients with the heart or kidney diseases, they will get the preferences. Clear? Understand? Okay, that's what people. Okay, so it's a part of the directive principles. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one, partial right to work under employment guarantee program. Okay, we studied about the MNREGA. What is that?
Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Act.
Of course. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guaranteeing Act. Okay. Guarantee. They will guarantee minimum 100 days of work. 100 days of work. Clear or not? So that's the part of directive principles of the state policy. Clear? So always the government will take some decision to protect the people or uplift the people. Clear? So government take decisions. Okay. But no one can approach the court against the government and say that the government did not help us. Okay. Or government did not provide this 100 days work for us. Criteria are there for that. Okay. So that's what the directive principles. Next one, fundamental duties of citizens. We are enjoying the rights, right? The same time, we want to complete some task. Some duties are for all the citizens in the country. Basically termed as the fundamental duties. Fundamental rights are there. Fundamental duties also are there, right? So we want to do it. So we will strike, we will protest to get our rights. Or anyone is violating the rights, we will agitate, we will react very badly, but at the same time we want to complete these duties too. We want to do these things. What are they? In 1976, the 42nd amendment. What do you mean by amendment? Amendment is a constitution. I mean the term that related with the constitution. What is that? Amendment. Yeah, of course. Making changes in the existing rules and regulations in the constitution is termed as amendment. Okay, clear? So amendment is the term we are basically using with the changes in the constitution only. Okay, we will not use in the local sense. Clear or not? Mother amended the chicken curry by adding some more salt. No chance to use like that, right? So amendment is related with the constitution. Understand? Making changes in the existing rules and regulation. Clear? So the amendment to the constitution was passed. Among other things, this amendment inserted a list of fundamental duties of citizen. In all, 10 duties were enumerated. However, the constitution does not say anything about enforcing these duties. So here 10 duties of the citizens is added in the constitution through the 42nd change amendment in the year 1976. But the court doesn't say, I mean, the constitution does not say anything about the enforcing these duties, making us to do that. No provisions are there, right or not? No one is going to force us to do that. But the rights, the duties are existing in the constitution. What are they? As citizens, we must abide the constitution. Okay. The law-abiding citizen. We should be a law-abiding citizen. Okay. We want to accept and we want to respect the constitution of our country. Law-abiding citizen. Defend our country. Protect our country from external aggression, terrorist attacks. That's our responsibility. Promote harmony among all citizens. We have to function as a medium to promote harmony. Okay, brotherhood or sisterhood or friendship between the people in the country. Protect the environment. Another one. We should protect the environment. Okay, however, it must be noted that our constitution does not make the enjoyment of rights depend or conditional upon fulfillment of duties. In this sense, the inclusion of fundamental duties has not changed the status of our fundamental rights. So, fundamental duties are there, but there is no provisions to enforce these fundamental duties. No one is able to force us to do so. We have to do it, but there is no provisions to force us to do the same. Clear? We want to respect our national anthem. We want to respect our national flag, right? Like there are various things are there. We want to do it, and we automatically we are doing that. Clear? Yes or no? Okay. At the same time, there is no provisions is there in the constitution to enforce it, to force the people to do it. Okay, so relationship between the fundamental rights and directive principles. Fundamental rights and directive principles. Okay, here you can see directive principles. What are they? Why it is? What are the goals of the directive principles? Goals, aim. Learn this properly. Directive principles and its aim. So it is possible to see both the fundamental rights and directive principles as complementary to each other. Okay, both want to function together. Fundamental rights restrain the government from doing certain things, while directive principles exhort the government to do certain things. Fundamental rights mainly protect the rights of the individual, while directive principles ensure the well-being of the entire society. That is the basic difference between the two. Okay, so what are the goals of the directive principles? Welfare of the people, social, economic and political justice. Clear? Next one, raising the standard of living, equitable distribution of resources, promotion of international peace. That all the part of the directive principles of the state policy. Okay, clear? The government want to do all these things. What are they? Want to maintain welfare of the people, social, economic and political justice, raising the standard of living, equitable distribution of resources, want to improve the standard of living of the people and want to distribute the resources equally among the people. Promotion of international peace, should not create any trouble with other countries. Okay, that are the goals. Next one, policies. Uniform civil code. Everyone want to obey the same rules and regulations. Prohibition of consumption of alcoholic liquor. Okay, the government want to prohibit the use of alcohol. Clear? Alcoholic liquor. Clear? So, are you agreeing with that? The directive principles of the state policy. Prohibition of the consumption of alcoholic liquor. Want to prohibit it. But what our state government doing? It is the only state government in India. The government selling liquor. Government is selling liquor to make money. And the other business by the government is lottery business. Okay, the Kerala government is so famous in India. Okay, the main sources of revenue for the Kerala government is nothing but the lottery business and the liquor business. Okay, might have heard about Bevco. Okay, Bevco is organized. The governmental institution basically selling alcoholic liquor to make money. Okay, so it is a part of the directive principles, but the government itself selling it, making money. Okay, you can see that in the roadside, you can see this board Bevco, and you can find a long queue there. Okay, in the seasonal, festive season means the road might block because the people, those who standing to purchase this thing there. Okay, Ashish Benny, you are laughing like anything. What happened? Ever observed the situation? Ashish? Next one, promotion of cottage industries. Cottage industries. Okay, to emancipate or help the rural women to stand in their own feet. Okay, make them economically independent. That's what promotion of cottage industries. What are they? In Kerala's famous cottage industry, we know that BD making. Basically, northern districts, BD making. Okay, that is also against the society, right? It's a cottage industry. Like again, these HSCs are there, self-help groups are there. Might you heard about Kudumbashree, right? Kudumbashree. They are running number of this kind of cottage industries. Okay, that is helpful for them. So I just simply told that number of programs are there by the self-help groups like Kudumbashree. Basically, they are very famous in India related with these cottage industries and making the women, the rural women, stand in their own feet there. Okay, next one, prevention of slaughter of useful cattle. Here comes the most important aspect here. Prevention of slaughter of useful cattle. Clear or not? So we should not slaughter animals that can be used for productive activity. Okay, example, a bull or a buffalo should not be slaughtered and eaten by the people. Clear? That's what the government is always says, that should not eat beef. Which government? The state government or the central government? Tell me. The central government, right? Irony is, India is the second largest country in the world exporting this beef item. Understand? Irony. Clear? So these things are there in the constitution, but we want to understand the reality also. That's what I'm telling that. Don't write these things in the examination that, okay? So controversy, critically examine means you can write. Okay, criticism, if you want to write the criticism, you can write. Simply asking what are the policies of directive principles, don't write the criticism, right? Clear? You want to think critically. Critical thinking is necessary. That's why I am saying that. Okay, clear. So promotion of village panchayats, local self-government should be promoted. Want to give adequate importance for local self-government. Okay, next one, non-justiciable rights. Clear? We can justify that. Adequate livelihood, equal pay for equal work for men and women, right against economic exploitation, right to work, early childhood care and education to children below the age of 6 years. Okay, it is too important, but we are unable to approach the court against the government if the government is not doing these things properly and perfectly. Clear or not? So government want to take care, adequate livelihood want to provide to everyone there. Okay, so I can say that the Kerala government is the best example for that, because what is that? Always we can see in the newspaper that a famous one. What is that? Kit. Okay, the government is distributed kit items, kit. Okay, so providing food grains for the people, and social welfare schemes are there. Pensions, that is increased to 1,500 rupees by this January. Okay, the government has increased that. Are you able to understand the things what I am speaking? All these things came in the newspaper. Repeating newspaper. Okay, repeating newspaper. Okay, so just read that. Okay, so this SHG, that is this social welfare pensions increased into 1,400 to 1,500. Okay, equal pay for equal work for men and women, gender equality, it is important, right? Equal worker, equal payment, we are supporting that. Are you supporting? Are you guys supporting that? Equal work, equal payment, irrespective of the gender. Amal Raj, supporting or opposing? Supporting. What about Ashish Benny? Are you supporting that or opposing it? Supporting. Okay. Elvina Joy?
Supporting.
Till today, not at all washed their utensils in the kitchen, right? Elvina? It is asking that same worker, same, what you can say, same remuneration. Okay. I simply told Elvina. Elvina regularly will wash, right? Elvina, are you? No, she says that not at all. Okay, let it. So we are accepting that idea. What is that? Equal pay for equal work for men and women. Right against economic exploitation. Okay. Next one, economic exploitation in the sense with different plans and programs are there. With that, the people will exploit, some group of people will exploit other individuals. They will exploit their money. Okay, right to work, but I cannot fight for the government to give job. Clear or not? Right to work is a right, the right is there, but we are unable to fight back or fight against the government to do the same. Cannot ask. So, a jobless person, he cannot ask the government to give me some work. Okay, clear or not? But the government can try, our governments are trying to do so, but it is not that possible to provide the work for everyone because population is too high. There is no that much work opportunities are available, employment opportunities are available in the country. Next one, early childhood care and education to children below the age of 6 years. So Anganwadi programs are there, Balwadi or Anganwadi, right? Clear. So providing medicine, food, cooked food or uncooked food, the kids below the age of 6 years, and education to them. Okay, early childhood care and education to children below the age of 6 years. Hope these ideas are clear, right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, moving forward. However, at times, when government intends to implement directive principles of state policy, it can come in conflict with the fundamental rights of the citizens. Sometimes it might happen. The problem arose when the government sought the past laws to abolish semindari system. I already told you that semindari system. These measures were opposed on the ground that they violated the right to property. So the government tried to abolish the semindari system as the part of the directive principles of the state policy. So semindars give a complaint in the court that it is against the right to property. That time it was there. What is that? It's a fundamental right. What is that? Right to property. So what the government did it? They excluded that from the fundamental rights. Okay. Today it is not a fundamental right anymore. Okay, this led to a long legal battle. The executive and the judiciary took different positions. The government claimed the right can be abridged from giving effect to directive principles. The argument assured that rights were the hindrance of the welfare of the people. On the other hand, the court held the view that fundamental rights were so important and sacred that they cannot be limited even the purpose of implementing directive principles. So the government took the decision, okay, to abolish the zamindari system, and a long battle between the government and the zamindars there. Okay, both argued that finally the court decided that, okay, implementing the directive principles against the fundamental rights are not appreciable. What the government did, what the legislature did there with the parliamentary session, they excluded that from the constitution, the direct right to property. So we are going to read that right to property. Okay. See, here behind the controversy about the relationship between the rights and directive principles, there was an important reason. In the constitution originally, there was a fundamental right to acquire, possess and maintain property. Clear? Originally at the time of drafting the constitution, it was a fundamental right, acquire, possess and maintain property. But the constitution made it clear that property could be taken away by the government for public welfare, right? Property can be taken away by the government for public welfare. Loophole also is there. So Indian constitution, I already told you that there are a number of loopholes we are able to find it. But the constitution made it clear that property could be taken away by the government for public welfare. Since 1950, government made many laws that limited this right to property. This right was at the center of the long debate over the relationship between rights and directive principles. Finally, in 1973, the Supreme Court gave a decision that the right to property was not the part of the basic structure of the constitution, and therefore parliament had power to abridge the right by an amendment. So they changed it, excluded that. In 1978, the 44th amendment to the constitution removed the right to property from the list of fundamental rights. Then only they can do that, but abolition of zamindari system. So right to property is there means I have thousands of acres of land. I can say that's my property, it's my fundamental right. What is that? Right to property. So government cannot take it. So they excluded that fundamental right from the list. Okay, what is that? Right to property. In 1978, the 44th Amendment to the Constitution removed the right to property from the list of fundamental rights and converted it into a simple legal right. Now, right to property is a simple legal right. Legal right. Clear? Under Article 300A. But we cannot purchase a huge area of land and cannot keep that is under our custody. It's basically termed as land ceiling. Okay, clear or not? A perfect number is there or perfect figure is there that says, okay, up to a particular limit we can keep the land. More than that is a punishable offense. What difference do you think this change the status makes to the right to property? Are you supporting or opposing? Tell me. The right to the property is needed as a fundamental right or it's not needed? What is your answer? Right to property. It's a legal right now. We can protect our land through law. Okay, we are able to purchase it, but up to a limit only. Clear? Okay, so these are the things basically related with this chapter. Rights in the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution. Okay, so this one case is there. You want to read it, and we will discuss basically this area in chapter number 9. Constitution as a living document. So I am excluding that now. We will discuss in chapter number 9 that. Okay. Clear? Okay. Now, conclusion. In the writings of Jyotirao Phule, 1827 to 1890, a radical social reformer from Maharashtra, we find one of the earliest expressions of the view that rights include both freedom and equality. Rights include both freedom and equality. Jyotirao Phule, a famous social reformer. During the national movement, this idea of rights was further sharpened and expanded to the constitutional rights. Our constitution reflected this long tradition and listed the fundamental rights. Since 1950, the judiciary has functioned as an important protector of rights. So, judiciary is the protector of rights. Judicial interpretations have expanded the scope of rights in many respects. The government and administration of our country function within this overall framework. Rights enforce limitations on the functioning of the government and ensure democratic governance of the country. So, it's the responsibility of the court to protect the rights of each and every individual, right? So, government want to take Okay, measures to protect the rights there. So the fundamental rights are too important. So I hope this chapter is so much interesting for you people. You understood the facts there, right? Fundamental rights, directive principles of the state policy. Next one, what is that? What we read there? What we read there? Fundamental duties. A small homework for you people. Find out the 10 fundamental duties and tell me tomorrow. I will ask. No need to send that answer. I will ask. Write and keep it ready with you people to give me the answer. Clear? Fundamental duties. Only told you that 10 are there. What are they? Anything else? So someone please check. Anyone? Please check how many notes are pending and how many chapters notes are pending, and just send me the list. I will upload that. Okay. Within these 2-3 days, just send me the list there. Anyway, I already marked all these questions and answers in the textbook itself. Okay. So anyway, I will send the notes also. Clear? Please check that. And send me the list. Who can do that? Aishwarya will do it. Aishwarya, do you have time? Are you busy? No, you can do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Amalraj, Elvina. Okay, just follow what I told. Thank you very much. We'll meet in next class. Next class says tomorrow we will meet again. Okay, bye. Thank you very much.